Hey everybody, it's Aluna Michaels, Esoteric Astrologer, coming at you to talk about June of 2023. Yay, hi. Always want to say thank you to the guys at Know Thyself podcast. Thank you so much. And okay, so let's get started here. So let's start out talking about, well, a lot of people are really interested in how Pluto's changing signs so much this year, the next few years. But, Pluto moves really slowly in the sky, and it changes signs very infrequently, sometimes up to 30 years it takes. It has an erratic orbit. It goes faster at certain parts and slower at other parts. Sorry, I got a piece of hair goes back here. And Pluto went into Aquarius. When was that? I forgot already. March. It went into Aquarius, then it stopped and went backwards, right, from the point of view of the Earth. It looks like it's going backwards, retrogrades, and it's been retrograding since like May 1st. It's going to pop back into Capricorn on June 10th or so, and then it's going to stay in there. It will go direct in October, but then it won't go back into Aquarius until January, like 21st. So we have this period of time where we've got the Pluto in Capricorn again. It's interesting when people talk about Pluto is so much about big issues in the world and political things and, people changing perspectives and, because Aquarius is so groundbreaking and inclusive, and Capricorn, when it's at its worst, is not that way, So there's a lot going on, and we'll see how that all unfolds as Pluto, when it really gets into Aquarius. But personally, really watch out for your spiritual, emotional growth journey about self-criticism, the return of self-criticism. We're not saying all Capricorns are bad. It's just when Pluto is kind of wringing out the sponge of the last of Capricorn, and Pluto is about power issues, right? And power can be great, but it's like, what's keeping you from feeling your full personal power? Or where are you misusing your power, And if it's Capricorn, it can be that self-critique and holding yourself to exorbitantly high standards that nobody can live up to, it's perfectionism kind of stuff. So as Pluto retrogrades back into Capricorn, it's like, right, what am I doing here that's making me miserable? That is within my personal responsibility, which is also part of Capricorn, to change it and transform it, which is Pluto. So on a personal level, try not to be hard on yourself if you see certain patterns reemerging. Like, make note of them, see what was working, what had you been doing that had worked, what are you not doing now, and not from a you stink, kind of thing, but what can I implement? Because Capricorn likes a plan. So you can say, well, this did work or this didn't work, and how could I readjust, to be free from these certain habits or belief systems or that keep you down or whatever it is, So, but also you can find there can be issues with other types of Capricorn things like bosses, parents, authority figures. That's where it can come to your own, like, mean critic as part of an internalized authority, negative authority, So you want to be looking at, like, old patterns about those kind of authority figure things, and it could be challenges with people in control of you, like bosses or parents or whatever, because parents always have that sort of subliminal influence, even if we're older, right? So looking at those issues. Financial things can be something too. Like if you want to be doing any sort of investments or looking at a new budget, seeing if you have spending issues. The Pluto retrograde can really help you, or Pluto retrograding back into Capricorn, I should say, could really help you with those kind of issues too. And just be able to review things and see what works, what doesn't work, and move forward. And you don't have to wait to move forward till October when Pluto goes forward, but you're just noting all these things and seeing where you can make progress. So that's a big thing. Now, the planet Saturn is going to go retrograde. It's in Pisces. It won't go back into Aquarius. It'll stay in Pisces through this retrograde. But that's going to be the middle of June. I'm making this on June 4th. But it's, a lot of people get really tired when Saturn is sitting still, stationing, and about to go retrograde. Again, because Saturn is linked with Capricorn, that same kind of idea about, are you too hard on yourself? Are you noticing any Pisces Saturn retrograding in Pisces can be addictive kind of things, or ways you nurture yourself that aren't really nurturing, drinking too much wine, too much food, again, spending and stuff, whatever kind of things you do, or relationships that aren't really good for you. So the Saturn retrograde, again, it's kind of similar to this Pluto coming back into Capricorn about what am I doing? What can I be doing different in the gentlest kind of way? And one of the other things that you could be failing on is self-compassion, which, well, I won't say failing, but, the Saturn moving backwards in Pisces, about remembering self-compassion and then using that as a platform for inspiring action instead of do better, then it makes you not want to move forward. You're sort of slumping ahead instead of chin up and yes, and I'm confident and I'm doing it and I feel loved and I'm doing it. So to remember and maybe get back into a sort of regimen of self-compassion, a routine of that, of being kind to yourself and seeing how much more you can accomplish when you're self-loving rather than threatening yourself or whatever, you can do. So those are kind of things. Now, the other thing that can come up with Saturn retrograding in Pisces is if people are taking advantage of you. You could see if it's financial or it's your time, people draining you emotionally or whatever, and kind of see like who really takes too much from you and doesn't give back or has overstepped boundaries, or if you've lowered the boundaries with other people and bring them up. So those are other things to look at with the Saturn retrograde in Pisces. The other big retrograde story is Venus turning retrograde. Now, this doesn't happen until July, actually July 23rd, but we're in that window. So in July, Venus is going to retrograde at the end of Leo. It's going to go back to 13 degrees of Leo, which will be in September. But we say, okay, when is it 13 Leo before the retrograde? And that's going to be the middle of June. So there's this beginning point of that. Now, another thing, keep doing this with self-love, but, Venus in Leo is very self-loving. So to have it for a long time, instead of just 4 weeks in a sign, to have it for many months, it won't even go into Virgo until October. So this is a really long time to have it in Leo and be about self-love and living fully and living with like generous spirit and again with healthy boundaries, right? With Saturn representing that, but it can bring up a lot in relationships about not wanting attention in the sense of give me attention, but to feel that people are truly present with you and for you, and that you're interacting with people who have enough, let's say, emotional bandwidth to share their heart with you, and to feel that you might see in relationships you don't feel quite connected with certain people. And the ones that are will really flourish, but you could kind of see if somebody's not bringing their full heart to the table, so to speak, or if you're not doing that with somebody, you might want to say, why aren't I? How could I? If it's your marriage or if it's somebody you're getting to know, is it I just don't have the chemistry with that person karmically to do it? Or is there something from my past holding me back? Why is this? Why do I feel this way with them? Maybe it's to let the relationship go or not even start it. If it's a beginning type of thing. If there just isn't enough warmth there, because there's something about Leo that's very demonstrative and very romantic, and people that have the extra energy to do that. And some people don't have that for whatever reason. So new relationships, they could kind of fizzle and it isn't like, I want attention. It's the quality of connecting that you might be feeling. So don't be mad at yourself like you're a baby if you're not getting attention from somebody. Just kind of look at the quality of the connection. And with long-term partnerships, it could be, why are you withholding your heart from somebody that you do love very much? And kind of seeing how you could reignite connection and see what's in the way of it's sort of dousing the fire, So it's a nice long time to be able to look at that. And then with your self-love, it could be, it could be just things like fashion or your hairstyle. And my hair's looking crazy today. After I wash it, it gets crazy with the girls. But, or just treating yourself well, resting enough, eating well, can be part of Venus and Leo, like feeling that you deserve to look good, feel good, and dote on yourself, so to speak, So it's not about overindulgence, because Venus retrograde also, if you do have issues with money, like kind of like the Pluto going back to Capricorn, the Saturn retrograde that'll come up of where you can keep the financial leaks from happening or whatever. So, but just the sense of feeling full in your life, and that can be, if it's thrift stores and you don't have a lot to spend, but buying nice clothes and feeling you deserve this, you deserve to be, looking good, feeling good, and not in a shallow way. But I hope I'm getting that message across. It's about a positive sense of pride about yourself, just to say that, what you deserve in a positive way. Okay. So the other thing is we're going to have, of course, we're having a full moon, but right now, the 4th, and that's fun, but not such a big mover and shaker as it was last month. But the new moon that we're having on the 17th, 18th of June, so sun and moon conjunct at the new moon, and the planet Neptune is going to be squaring. And that's interesting because the new moon is definitely about starting new things and all of that, and it's in Gemini, so it could be ideas, relationship, people that are in your life, just connecting and talking. But Neptune is not clear, so Gemini likes to be clear in what I'm saying and doing, but then the Neptune is someone's not hearing it right, or like a little mini Mercury retrograde, and making sure like what you say with that sun and moon in Gemini matches what you truly believe. It's almost like you can't fake it when we have that new moon. And where do you maybe, I'm going to say lie to yourself, but, you're trying and things aren't quite working? When do you realize there's a misalignment? I don't want to say lack of integrity as much as feeling that you want to be able to speak the truth, and who can you and can't you? And so there could be something like that at the new moon. And also, though, it can be, Neptune can also be visionary about how I wish I could be and how I want to speak up, or how I want to present myself. So there can be that as well. But it's a good thing to kind of run something like, if you want to make a change or speak up to a boss or something like that, or run it by somebody else, maybe around the 20th of June or something, when the new moon is faded, so you can see if is this the right thing to say, or am I seeing it right, or would this be good, and get a second opinion of someone you trust. There's always that Neptune is a little self-deception, or just not seeing the whole part of it. Somebody else would say, that's great, or you might even feel, I can adapt it here myself, but it's always good to run it by somebody when there's Neptune involved. Someone is not just like, yeah, sure, someone who really is listening to what you say. So, so that is the news for June. Let me see if there's anything else. Because also, I should just say, I was talking about Venus being in Leo. Mars is also in Leo. So they're kind of running concurrently. It's, kind of making conjunction, a loose conjunction throughout June. So it's fun. I mean, it's nice that it's summer, and it's just a typical summer feeling of like your heart's big and getting to know people and just being friendly with people in the neighborhood. There's just a big spirit, that's a really nice thing about June. So, okay. So if you want a session with me, reach out. You can text me at 248-583-1663. You can reach me. Try not to do it on YouTube, because sometimes I have a hard time checking. I don't get notifications. Sometimes if you write a comment, I don't know. Go on my website, alunamichaels.com. Send me an email, aluna@alunamichaels.com. But hope you're doing great. Enjoy the month, and bye-bye for now.